Hello, good morning, friends. So, welcome back again. I shall continue with the yesterday's topic, that is the interlinking of these MNCs. How the multinational corporation that is in a country, how it is, starts branches in different countries, factories in different countries, setting up in another countries, sold in another country. So all these are interlinking. The headquarters is in one place and they are connected with each other. That is the advantage of this modern world. How things are produced in one country but sold in other countries. We can take page number 58 where we had stopped and we will begin from 58 today. So, but the most common route for MNC investment is to buy up local companies and then to expand production. So, yesterday we said sometimes they make adjustment or agreement with a local company. And they will provide them more capital, they will provide them latest technology, latest machines, and so on. So, when the common route for MNC is in the beginning, what they will do is that they will buy a local company. So instead of buying new land, making new factory and so on, what they will do is they will find out a local company. Maybe it is struggling to survive. It may be running on a loss. So they will buy that company with all its factory, all its land, everything. Then it is easy for them to do business in that place. Then MNCs with huge wealth can quite easily do so. To take an example, Cargill Foods, a very large American MNC, has brought over smaller Indian companies such as Prakash Foods. Prakash Foods had built a large marketing network in various parts of India where its brand was well reputed. Also, Parag Foods had four oil refineries whose control has now shifted to Cargill. And Cargill is now the largest producer of edible oil in India with a capacity to make 5 million pouches daily. So let's see an example how a foreign company can buy a local company in India. For example, there was a company, a MNC, American company, and its name is Cargill Foods. And it was bought over smaller Indian companies such as Parag Foods. So, there is a food company in India, it is called Parag Foods. So, this MNC called Cargill, they bought this factory from India and they started it producing things of their own. So this Parag Foods had built large marketing network in various parts of India. So this company was a very famous company in India and they had a lot of branches in India. They had set up so many companies, so many factories all over India. And so they bought all these company along with these branches, along with the factory and so on. And Parag Food had built large marketing network in various parts of India where its brand was well reputed. So people liked the products of this Parag Food and there was a good market and people all longed for that. Reputation was there, that a good name was there for this company. Then also Parag Foods had four oil refineries and whose control has now shifted to Cargill. So this company also, this Indian company Parag Food, they also had four oil refineries. They used to make edible oil, refined oil to market. And they used to, now the largest producer of edible oil. So now the Cargill has bought this company and so the name is changed Cargill Food Products. And they continue to produce edible oil there. And they have got huge capacity. After taking over the Indian company, the Cargill company has become more powerful, or we can say more rich, because they have invested more money, they have brought modern technology and so they have improved their production. And so how much are they producing? They are able to make 5 million pouches daily. Pouch means the plastic packet. Sometimes the oils are coming not in the plastic container but in the plastic packets. That plastic packet is called pouches. You must have seen the small oil like a hair oil or shampoo and so in the small plastic packets, that is called pouch. What is coming in the plastic container or plastic packet is called pouch. So these company, after taking over, they are able to make 5 million pouches. Can you imagine? 5 million in a day. So much of production capacity was there. But when this Parag Food was managing this, they could not manage this much. Their production was very low. But now, after America has taken over it, they have improved their production. They have become better in producing things. Then, in fact, many of the top MNCs have the wealth exceeding the entire budgets of the developing country governments. So, these foreign companies or MNCs, they are so rich, and the money that they invest into this one company, that money is much greater than the whole money of the government, we can say. Some of the developing countries or poor countries, their whole year's budget for the country is smaller than the money that the MNC is investing. So we can imagine a small country, they may have, we can just example, let us say $5 million. Their whole year's budget is $5 million to do all the development in the country, to give salary to the staff and all the expenses together 5 million. But an MNC is coming and starting a company in their country, they may be investing $10 million. It may be double of what the government has got. That means the government of the country is so poor, but a foreign company has got more money than the government. And certainly that government will be very happy if they can invest so much money in their country, because it will bring development. And with such enormous wealth, imagine the power and the influence of these MNCs. Suppose that country has got only $5 million for the whole year, and that MNC has got $10 million, and then the government will be very happy that to invite that company and start the business there. And the company will put so many conditions. We want that facility, you have to allow us this way, you have to allow us to pay low labor, cheap labor, you have to provide us that facility, this facility, don't take action against us if you don't follow this law. So they will be making so many conditions, and that poor government will be happy to obey all that. If you don't agree, then that company will go away and they will start in some other countries. So in order to please them, the government will agree with all the conditions that they are putting forward. So that is how the multinational corporations are exploiting the poor nations, the poor countries. So they will not be providing health facilities, they will not be providing insurance facility, they will not be following the safety norms. Even if there is an accident, some people die, they will not be paying compensation, they will be allowed to escape and so on. So because the government agrees to all their demands in order to make them happy and so on. Then there is another way in which MNC control the production. And large MNCs in developed countries place orders for production with small producers. Garments, footwear, sports items are examples of industries where production is carried out by a large number of small producers around the world. And the products are supplied to the MNC, which then sell these under their own brand names to the customers. And these large MNCs have tremendous power to determine price, quality, delivery and labor conditions for these distant producers. So another way how MNCs are interlinking. They know, for example, let us say those who are producing dress, pants, shirts and so on. So the MNC knows which are the countries who are producing things. Maybe in India, then maybe in Bangladesh, maybe in Pakistan. So they will contact the companies, those who are producing dress in these countries, and they will say, we want to buy dress from you, produce 1000 pairs of pants. Another country they will say, produce 2000 pairs. So they will buy from different companies, different factories from different countries, and they all will buy and take it to their country, the foreign country. Then what will they do? They will change the label label, they will change the name, they will change, they will change the original company's name and they will put their name. So maybe it was produced in India, the jeans pant was produced in India, then it is bought by a multinational corporation in America. They will take it there, they will change the label, they will change the name and they will put a new name there of that company. So it will become the product of them. Actually it is produced by a small company in India, but when it is bought by America and they will put their name and it becomes highly foreign, it becomes a foreign thing, it has got a foreign company's name. And so that is how some of the multinational corporations are doing. The production is done by other small companies in different countries, but the name is given by the MNC. Their own name is given, and they get. We can buy. Imagine they'll be buying for a cheap rate from these poor countries, and afterwards changing the name, and they will be selling back maybe to the same country. They may sell it and with a high price. So those people must have bought it from India, and then after changing the name they will send it back to India, and the Indians will be buying that one thinking that oh it is a foreign jeans. So how the customers are cheated by these multinational corporations. So what was available in an Indian name they don't want because it was cheap and they think it is not good quality because price is very cheap. But when it is coming with an American name with a high price, they are very happy to buy that because they think it is a foreign good and a high quality. But the secret behind the multinational corporation is that they do so many things in order to get attraction of the customers, to get more profit, and so that is how they are working. Then thus we see that there are a variety of ways in which the MNCs are spreading their production and interacting with local producers in various countries across the globe. So these countries they will have lot of contact with the people in different parts of the world, and they will be always trying to do business with them, entering into contract with them and trying to make profit and so on. So that is how they are functioning. Then by setting up partnership with local companies, by using the local companies for supplies, by closely competing with the local companies or buying them up, MNCs are exerting a strong influence on production at these distant locations. So what do they do? The MNCs, how do they enter into the local country? Sometimes they will by setting up partnership with local company. They'll say let us be partners. You take this much work, I will do this much work. You take this much profit, I will take this much profit. So they will enter into a partnership. So before it was done by Indian company alone, now a multinational corporation is coming and telling we shall share, we shall work together. That is one technique that they use. Then sometimes they will use the local companies for supply. They will say we will produce the things and we will give you supply. So local people will have more contacts in the local area, therefore they will be able to supply. That is another way of cooperation. Then by closely competing with the local companies. So sometimes they will also start, multinational corporation will come and start their own company near to that. So maybe a local company is there running nicely, doing nicely business and so on. So this multinational corporation also will come and start and producing the same things, and they will have competition with this local company. So naturally the foreign company will be able to produce better way because they have got more investment, more money, more better technology, better machines and so on. So they will be able to produce in a better things, and naturally in that competition the small fellows things nobody will buy, or the local companies things nobody will buy, and slowly he will have to close down his company. So they will start the competition and the local company will be closed down slowly. Then sometimes they will buy them up. Sometimes they will say you are not doing well, if you are ready to sell I will buy. So the poor man may not be getting much profit, maybe getting very little profit, therefore he will be happy to sell it away. So then there will be no more other company making the same products. So this multinational corporation will be able to get all the products, all the profits. Then MNCs are exerting their influence in this way. They do so many things in order to avoid or in order to overcome the competition from these local producers, local business people. And as a result, the production in these widely dispersed locations are getting interlinked. So they are connected together. The local market and the multinational corporation, they are connected together with this way. Sometimes they work together, sometimes they make agreements, sometimes they become partners, sometimes they are buying up, sometimes there is competition. So all these things they do in order to get a lot of connection with them, in order to get connected with the local company, with the local government and so on. And let's see, just work out this program is there, the page number 59. Ford Motors, you must have heard about Ford, the vehicle car called Ford. Ford Motors, an American company, is one of the world's largest automobile manufacturers with production spread over 26 countries of the world. So this Ford car company, it is an American company, but they have got a factory in 26 countries in the world. So they are spread out in 26 countries. There are Ford companies are there, factories are there. Then Ford Motors came to India in 1995 and spent rupees 1700 crore to set up a large plant near Chennai. So in 1995, this factory or this multinational corporation from America came to India and they went to Chennai and they wanted to start a factory there to produce this car. And how much money they spent for starting this? They spent 1700 crore. So that's a very huge amount for India. Then this was done in collaboration with Mahindra and Mahindra, a major Indian manufacturer of jeeps and trucks. So they came and made a collaboration, a company, a friendship with an Indian company called Mahindra and Mahindra. And Mahindra, what they were making? They are making jeeps and trucks, and the Ford is making car. So they made an alignment and they made an agreement with an Indian company. Then by the year 2004, Ford Motors was selling 27,000 cars in Indian markets, while 24,000 cars were exported from India to South Africa, Mexico and Brazil. So you can see how fast the company is growing. It was started only in 1995 and by 2004, that means after within 9 years they were able to produce so much. So in India they were able to sell 27,000 cars in a year. So 27 cars in a year they are selling in India. That means we can imagine how many workers will be there, how fast is their production and so on. And not only that, then 24,000 cars were exported from India to South Africa, Mexico and Brazil. So 27,000 cars are sold in India, then another 27,000 they are exporting to other countries like Mexico, South Africa and so on. So that means 27 plus 24, how much? 24 plus 27, 51,000. So 51,000 cars they are making in a year. So we can imagine their car had so much demand, people all like to buy their car and they were increasing their production. Not only in India but even after producing in India they are sending it to other countries. So they are not sending us a thing that is manufactured in India or as an Indian car. They are selling it as an American car, American company, because the production is done by American company. Then the company wants to develop Ford India as a component supply base for its other plants across the globe. So since this company is making so much car, 51,000 cars they are making in a year, that means there is so much of profit is there, and therefore they want to develop more and more. They want to develop Ford India. So they are calling this company as a Ford India and they want to make it as a component supplying base. Component means parts. So they are making the parts of the car here, and they want supply to other places, other countries, and so on. So they want, that is their target, that is what they want to make it. They want, because they found labor is very cheap in India, therefore it is very easy to get lot of profit. If America, if they do this, they have to pay a very high labor charge, and so their profit will be very less. But in India, if they do, the labor charge is less, so all that money that they are saving on labor charge, they can save a lot, and the profit will be higher and higher. That's why they are planning to export it. They are planning to expand their company more and more. Then see these questions and try to answer these questions. Okay, would you say Ford Motors is an MNC? Why? Is it an MNC, Ford Motors? Yes, because it is not an Indian company, it is an American company, and they are coming and setting up in India, making investment in India, and so on. And what is foreign investment? I told you to underline in the last class. You remember what is foreign investment? So the investment made by a foreign company in India, that is called foreign investment, or any other country. Investment made by a foreign country is called foreign company. It is called foreign investments. What is then? How much did Ford Motors invest in India? We said 1,700 crore they invested in India. Then by setting up their production plants in India, MNCs such as Ford Motors tap the advantage not only of the largest markets that countries such as India provide, but also the lower cost of production, explain the statement. So why do they continue to expand or think about expanding their production in India? Because it is access to a lot of countries. Because in Chennai there is sea is nearby, they can send export all these things through ship, or if they want to import something from other countries, they can bring. So because of this transportation facility. Then second one is the labor charge is very cheap in Chennai. People are ready to work for cheap labor. So because of all this, the company found that this place is very suitable, and they continue to expand their business there. Then why do you think the company wants to develop India as a base for manufacturing their components for its global operations? Discuss the following factors. So cost of labor and other resources in India. So we already said one of the reasons that why this company was happy to make their expansion in India is the labor charge is very cheap. So they can save, they can earn more profit. Then another reason is the presence of several local manufacturers who supply auto parts to Ford Motors. So we said they made a company, they made a friendship with Mahindra and Mahindra. So they can make products or parts, and then Ford Motors can buy it from them. So they can save a lot of time and so on. Then closeness to a large number of buyers in India and China. So another thing is India has got a lot of world market is there to sell Indian things. So through that channel they can also sell their products to these countries. Then in what ways will the production of cars by Ford Motors in India lead to interlinking of production? So the things are produced in different parts. Maybe some of the parts are produced in different countries. They can bring it to India, then settle it together, connect it together, then sell it into different places. That way there is interlinking. So all the parts are not made by the same company. It may be made by other companies in India also, or they must be making in Europe or America and then bringing and settling together, joining together, fixing together, and showing the complete production and so on. So yeah, all these different factories in different places, they are connected together. Then in what ways is an MNC different from other companies? So what is the difference between MNC and other company? So MNC will have branches or factories or factory or shops, outlets in different countries, but another company will not have any other outside their country. They will have, for example, an Indian company will have factory in India, shops in India, outlets in India, and so on. They may be selling things to outside after finishing the production. But a multinational corporation, they will have different production units in different parts of the world. In one country, one part will be produced, another country, another part will be produced. Then they all will be brought together to another country, and there they will be fixing together and making it finished products and so on. So all these things, they will have factories in different countries which are doing different functions. And so all of them may not be producing the full products, but they will be producing certain parts, and that all depends on the availability of the raw materials and availability of the cheap labor and so on accordingly. So if suppose one raw material is available there, and with that raw material what part can be made, they will make it there, then they will send it to other headquarter where it will be joined together. So that is the difference between a multinational corporation and a country, another company. Then nearly all major multinationals are American, Japanese or European, such as Nike, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Honda, Nokia, and can you guess why? So most of these things that we use in our daily life, it is not produced in India. Most of them are belonging to some multinational corporations from America, Japan or European and so on. For example, the sports dress that we wear, Nike, the cap and so on, we can see Nike on with a tick here, it is written Nike. So that is, and the Coca-Cola that we are very fond of drinking, it is not produced in Indian company. It is though it is, they have got so many companies, factories in India, but the headquarter is in America. Then other things like Pepsi or Honda that we are driving, two-wheeler, that is also foreign companies. India has got so many factories in India, they have so many factories in India, but the basic headquarter is where? It is in foreign country. Then what are the other things? Nokia, the phone that we use, it's all coming from different countries. The main headquarter is not in India, it is produced in other countries, or they have the outlets, or they have the factory in India. That is how they are surviving. So we learned how this interlinking is possible. They mix with other countries in the local area, other companies in the local country where they want to set up. They make different types of agreement with the government, or different type of agreement with the local company. They have competition with them, or they buy them off, or they have make them their suppliers, or they buy products from them and change the label and send it back and sell it with a higher price. So they enter into different methods in order to keep connected. They will never try to make them enemies. They will always have interlinking. They will always have friendship, connection, so that their work will go on smoothly. They will never try to enter into conflict with the government or with the local companies. Always they will have a friendship link, friendship connection, and they will continue to produce their things. So we shall stop today, and we will learn in the next class about the foreign trade, how the foreign trade is going on, how it takes place in the market. Foreign things are sold in Indian market, or Indian things are sold in other countries market. How this foreign trade and the integration of the markets, how the connection of the markets are taking place. So thank you for listening. We'll meet you again in the next day. Thank you. Bye.